Alright guys, today we are looking at fly fishing boots. Get your boots on. Let me tell you why we're looking at these. I generally have 3 reviews of any product that I buy, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Some of these guys are reaching their end. So that means that this will be the exit interview, the exit review for at least one, maybe all 3 of the main pairs I have. This one will never exit because they don't make them anymore. Anyway, I'm a Simms guy and I'm a guide, and so I get discounts on Simms products. That said, you will never yourself find Simms products any cheaper or any more readily available than they are right now. If you know about Orvis, they've cut their retail outlets in half, and that's probably a good thing, but not necessarily good for pricing and the overall big picture of the fly fishing business. We're going to find out real soon what all is going to shake down. Let's get to the boots though. I've had different boots for different causes. You know, the thing about fly fishing is some things are expensive at first, but if you factor out a pair of boots that's going to last you 10 years, and it costs you $150 for that 10-year pair of boots, that's $15 a year. $200 is $20 a year. You can figure it out. So I would have to look back and think about like when I got these boots. Maybe there's a record of it at Simms. I don't know. I've had better and worse performance over the years. I have had to retire boots sooner than I would have expected because of their kind of, I don't know if you call it lack of quality, but just they didn't work on my feet. Let me show you something about feet. Now I come from the shoe industry. When I was in college, I sold shoes. And when I was trained to sell shoes, I was trained classically, classic sales style. And that means you know what you're talking about. Sales techniques were great. It was really a fantastic training back in the early 80s. And the knowledge that was imparted to me through GENESCO, which is the company I worked for, but I worked in a mall. I was a mall guy. Was a lot of great knowledge about feet. And let me show you something. Let's see if I can get my foot up here, and I'll show you something about my feet. Tell you stories about my foot that you might not have heard. Let's see if I can get it up here. Okay, this is my foot. Now my foot is fairly normal, except that I have a fairly high arch. Well, when I weighed 30 pounds more than I do now, that arch fell and flattened out, so my foot was flatter. So my foot changed over time. Your feet continue to grow over time. I wore 8.5s forever. Now I wear a size 9. Whatever. Your feet do grow, so don't get wrangled into a certain size. Not only that, you'll find that different companies make their shoes wherever they're made on different lasts. Now the last is what the shoe is formed around typically. It's very specific to more of a men's dress shoe or whatever, but still there's lasts that are used to form the boots when they're being put together. My problem with my foot is that I got a little bumpity bump right here on my heel, and that thing wears out the back of boots really quickly. I mean, it wears a hole in just about every pair of boots I've ever had. The only things that don't get worn through are things that are reinforced in the heel. So I've got that. Some people have, plantar fasciitis, or that's one thing that's down in here. But then also you can have these protrusions on your feet right here, these bone growths right here, that cause you to have protrusions that make you need wider shoes or boots. Keep that in mind. You can actually need, if there's widths, you can need a wider width rather than go with a longer length. So there's that. I always if you're going to get fitted, you know, the best thing you can do is sit down, have them measure your foot, okay? Just get your foot measured. Just if you're going into this, whether you have 50 years experience or 5 days of experience with fly fishing, when you go to get a good pair of boots, get your feet measured. The second thing about that is when you go to get a pair of boots, if you're going to go to a local retailer and not buy online, let me see if I can get my foot off of here. What you got to do is, well, it's one ugly foot, isn't it? What you got to do is wear the socks and booties you're going to wear, even the waders you're going to wear with the boots you're intending to buy. Whether you buy them there or not, you need to have a true fit to your boots. So my first pair of boots, I'll just start with these. I use these a lot on South Padre Island and down wading flats. You don't want to go sockless because even though it's got the neoprene up here, these will let little bitty pieces of sand and shell in, and it will grind your feet to a pulp. So wear a boot. I'd wear a bootie with these and keep it folded upwards so that that stuff will go in but not onto your feet proper. Very good. These are just about done. All my boots are just about done. So these are just about done. I took a pretty good cut right here on shell. It didn't go all the way through, but the new model by Simms, and I'll put a picture of it right here somewhere. They're very tempting. They're very nice. Good. Very good quality. The bottoms are getting a little smooth, so you can slide on mud. So not for mud. These are not for mud. And they're, I don't know what they're called. I'll put the name of them down here, the actual category. Now these are flat sneakers, and these were not very good. Remember, this is exit interview. Sorry, Simms, but you know, I got tired of messing with this, so I took my, you'll see that I'll give you a link to how I fix these. There was separation between the outsole and the midsole, and so I came in and glued these up really beautifully, don't you think? Isn't that a beautiful glue job? With Sikaflex. Now Sikaflex is a unique type of caulk that we use in the Airstream trailer business a lot, and that is where Sika comes from. And when you get Sika wet, it sets. So you can do Sika and get it wet pretty quickly. And this is not coming undone anytime soon, but it sure looks like bad. That's the Simms. I like these a lot. I would keep them as backup. I'd like to have a new pair of those too. All right, here's the big granddaddy of them all. The boot I wear the most often, and the most used boot. And that's a G3. I believe it's an old G3 model wading boot. Really the heavier boot, fairly heavy. Size larger for waders only, or booties, but you got to have something on there. This is size larger. These two prior ones right here are really more of a wet wading purpose and lighter weight. You never wear these in cold water situations. They won't hold the bottom well at all for that. This is for, you can see that they held pretty well on the jetties, but other than that, and of course sand, but other than that, and not for mud, not for anything hardly else except salt water, really casual purposes. Okay, so the big granddaddy right here. This boot was replaced once, I think, but I think these are at least 10 years old. And what I did, so 10 years, and what I did is these are spiked, okay? So they have the actual little studs in here, strategically placed. When you place your studs, let's see if I'm missing one. No, they're all there. There's about, let's see, 5, there's 10 on each. So what you want to do is place them on your pressure points and up towards the toe, one up off of your pressure point because that's your climbing point right there. You want a stud up there, right across the bottom of your feet at the front, you know, where your actual like weight goes. Nothing there in the middle. There's no weight that goes in here. I mean, you can, if you got extra studs, put some in there if you want. This is my configuration. Your configuration will be to your foot, but it's very important also stud the heels. So the heel is important, and this pointer right here, I call it the pointer, is really important also, because what that does is that gives you a grip up. When you're gripping up on to rocks, this will grip up on it. I believe I started off, my old boots were felts with studs, and those were pretty good. But once the Dynamo came around and all these other diseases, waterborne things came around, I switched over to the basic rubber sole. If you can get VIBRAM, no matter what the brand, VIBRAM. I used to sell VIBRAM in the 80s on shoes, different kinds of shoes, and VIBRAM is a great company, great product. I'm not sure if the name of the company's VIBRAM or not, but anyway, VIBRAM soles are very good. And I imagine, you know, this one and any other VIBRAM has the potential to be resold. So that's these boots. All three of these are Simms. Simms has updated all these in the last 10 years. I'm saying these are my newest ones probably. I don't remember what happened to the old ones. I think I wore them out. These are the oldest, and these are the next, and these are the newest. So these are my Simms boots. This is the exit interview for these sweet things. I'll probably have them bronzed. Somebody will have them bronzed. They've treated me very well if you factor out everything over the number of years. The only ones that have given me problems are these right here, and it's notorious that this style, this era of the Simms flat sneaker had separation anxiety. So that's that. I gotta move these out of the way off of here. Last but not least, very important pair. Oh, I love these guys. Soft Science. These aren't worn out, but they are really interesting because they weigh nothing. They look a lot like, I've worn these as shoes. They look a lot like Converse All-Star high tops, and that's what they're copied after. But they have water shedding cuts all the way right here to let water squeeze out. They come up as high tops. I'm a high top guy. I don't wear low tops at all. I've got a weak ankle from my basketball years. There's that. But one of the great keys to this that you don't find in anything but wading type shoes is a insole on this one that is the best insole that's ever been made for wading boots. And I wish that just this, I want to keep these even if the boots go away, because these don't absorb water and they're extremely comfortable on my feet all day long. And they're lightweight. So these are great insoles. If you can find these somewhere, Soft Science, good stuff. The fits are kind of weird on this company. They're out of business. Anything you find will be some guy that got stuck with inventory or something like that. Pretty fantastic. Worn these in a lot of different circumstances. Not able to put studs on these, so you really can't wear them in cold water, slippery rock. But those are really great. I am trying to think if there's anything I haven't told you about these products, and I don't think I've left anything out. Let me tell you one thing about the business itself. You're never going to buy boots any cheaper than they are right now. I think that we're at the bottom end of an inflationary, we've had inflation, we've leveled off, and we're going through the roof if things continue the way they are. So if you've been hesitating or thinking this is the year to buy boots, I'd say yes, this is a year to buy boots. Cheap, expensive, whatever, American, Chinese, whatever. You got to realize these boots have gone way up in price since I bought them. If you got a 10-year space in time between when you bought them and when you replaced them, I mean, this is a 5-star boot. 5 stars right here. Really great boot. It's probably not done yet, but I'm thinking I need to get on the train because the prices are going insane. And if I don't get on now and get some new boots, they're going to be $100 more when I'm ready. These, I don't know which of these are going away, but something's going away here. And these, doesn't matter, these are never going away because they're not replaceable. You need to get on the train for some new boots this fall, going into the winter and early spring, because we don't know what prices are going to do. Do they ever go down? I mean, really, you can find sales and you can find stores that are going out of business. I mean, Orvis might have a great fire sale coming up. I don't know. I seriously doubt it. That's not the style of that company to do something like that. But they're going to be caught with excessive inventory, closing down 50% of their retail stores. So there is that, and Orvis makes good product and good boots, and I've had some in the past. But if you want backup as far as warranty protection, if you want top quality and you want to be able to send your boots in if you have a problem, or buy studs for your boots, would you rather be with a company you know is going to be in business, or would you rather take a chance? You can take a chance on Orvis. I'm telling you, I think right now anything you buy and you're hoping to have a good warranty on, you're taking a chance. You're really taking a chance. So I would push anybody that had a budget for boots this fall, this winter. I would push anyone towards Simms, not only because I'm affiliated with them and partnered with Simms and have been for many, many years, but because Simms seems to be holding tight. Now, this video can always come back and bite me in the ass if Simms goes under, but the odds of that, I think, because it's part of a large conglomeration and it's got a corporate overlay on it instead of a family-owned overlay, business overlay, I think Simms is in it for the long haul. So this is what I have to say. Keep in mind I have ugly feet. Guess you saw that. And let me know if you have any questions about boots. I'm going to intersperse some close-ups of these boots, and I'm going to show you the new versions too, as I'm showing you the older version, much older. And if down in the description, I will try to find the date of purchase on these, all these right here, and that way you'll know exactly how old they are, and you can do the factoring yourself if you want to know how much it cost me each year. I can tell you for sure, 100% for sure, fly fishing is cheaper than golf. Think about a $30 green fee and you play 50 times a year. That's a lot of boots, people. I mean, that's more boots than I need. So I don't know the math on that. So you go figure it yourself. But the thing is fly fishing, if you buy good equipment to begin with, buy good boots, then I didn't say great, I didn't say top shelf, I said good stuff. It'll hold up for you, you know. And that's what I believe, and that's kind of the way I go. And a lot of the stuff I have might be getting a little ragtag because it's been so good and lasted so long. But there comes a time, and I think these boots are getting close.